So hello everybody, welcome to Genie Yoga and You. And today we're going to do something that I call the cement mixer, which is basically a really subtle moving to a bigger hip opener and then going back to subtle and then the other side. And this is quite deep and can make a big difference in terms of mobility in the hips and also a sense of freedom through those joints. And it's really centering. So come onto your mat or your carpet or whatever you're working on. And just coming onto all fours. And initially, letting the weight drop down through the hands and down through the knees and the front of the feet. And take some breaths in and out through the nose. Open the mouth to relax the jaw. And we're going to come into stillness. And then now with the mind, you're traveling down to the base of the spine and deep into the pelvic area. So you're going deep into your pelvic seat. And we're going to begin now. You have to move the hands to get them comfortable. We have to move them a few times. We're just going to begin to draw a tiny circle deep in the pelvis. And the breath is very light in and out through the nose. And you can imagine that you're drawing a circle on a horizontal plane. And if somebody was watching you, which they might be or I am, it wouldn't be clear that you're moving initially. It's just a very tiny dot that you're tracing. And sometimes it's interesting to hold the movement back, to actually be really small, really reduce the movement, tiny. So it's the idea, and then you begin to make that dot, might become a lozenge shape. Just make that a little bigger. So you're starting to go forward and back. You're breathing through the nose. And the temptation is to get big too soon, so don't do that. Keep it just lozenge shaped. So someone looking at you now would think they're moving. But it's a small movement. And see if you can keep the shoulders as relaxed as possible. You may have to readjust where the knees and the hands are. And we're going in one direction. Keep that direction going. So there's a quality of movement to this. And now we're going to begin to get a little bigger. And we come forward. We go sideways. Don't get too big. Back and sideways. So you're tracing the size of a saucer. Maybe the size and shape of a coffee saucer. And just keeping that movement going helps to open the mouth. It really helps to open the mouth, let it hang open. And again, the temptation is to go wild too soon, so just control it. And then getting a little bigger, back, side. We'll have a chance to go wild. Forward, side. If it gets tiring, if it feels like you're putting a lot of weight through the hands and through the arms, just give them a shake. You can always bring the forearms down. Anybody who finds this strong, bring the forearms down, but it does restrict the movement in the hips a little. So you maybe want to come back to the hands. And then just getting a little bigger. Side, back, side, forward. Relax that jaw. So now you can see what's going on. You're going forward, you're going sideways, and the legs are involved in that. You'll feel some work in the leg muscles now too. But again, don't get too wild. Same direction. So the whole body is going, but the movement is originating from deep in that pelvic seat. Back, side. It should feel quite pleasant, sensual. Something languid. Keep that movement going. Relax the jaw. And it's possible to have sensations here as well come up that might not be entirely comfortable, and you just stay with it. Little tickles or prickles or some discomfort or something uncomfortable. Because this particular exercise, I think of it as cement mixer, it releases It releases tension, which can be emotional, from the body. And we're getting a little bigger now, so there's a little bit more body involved. Side, back, side, forward. We have to step the knees back a little. The feet are relaxed. Relax the jaw. Keep that movement going. Again, if you need to pick up those hands, but hopefully you've found a way of doing this that doesn't put too much weight anywhere. And we're going to get a little bigger even. So whoosh, back, side, forward, side. Woo. There's a little bit of a whip round going on now. And then pausing and tucking the toes under, and let the knees hover, and then start to, this is where the Submit Mixer comes from, start to involve the whole body. So this is more strength. And you're going back, side, forward, side. And you can still check in that it's coming from the pelvis. And there's a little bit of a whip, a whirl going on. You're breathing. And then we're going to keep going the same way, but we're going to backtrack in terms of size. So we bring the knees down and we start to reduce. So come back to that movement where the knees were on the ground. It was still fairly large. The temptation is to rush things, and just don't do that. Stay with every area. Go slowly back. Backtrack slowly in terms of the size. Getting a little smaller, still going the same direction. Shake the imaginary jowls. And it can be hard sometimes to reduce. Go side, go forward, side, back, but you're reducing the movement. Oh. Notice the face. You can soften the face, the brow. Soften the area of the flesh around the mouth. Now we're getting smaller. You may need to pick a hand up, place it down, pick the other hand up, place it down. So you can relax the shoulders, kind of widen them, send them away from the ears. And starting to go back toward that lozenge. Remember the lozenge shape was small, horizontal plane. Don't rush. Go through all the stages. And then coming back to that tiny inky dot. So that's when you're moving imperceptibly. And then you go right to stillness. And in stillness, you may still be able to feel the cells tracing the movement, but your body, the physical body still. And then just bring one forearm down. Bring the other forearm down. Breathing, widen the shoulders, send them away from the ears. Just going to rest here for a moment. Open the mouth. Possibly you can still feel that movement, that circle that you were doing, tracing itself through the pelvis. Whatever you do or don't feel is fine. And then come back up. And we're going to reverse. And initially you may have to force the reverse. So it's still an imperceptible movement, but you are sending the energy, the circle, back in the other direction. Don't rush. So it's an imperceptible movement. And a lot is going on here in terms of chakras and deeper energy centers, and just getting the Kundalini moving, which is the energy that lays coiled at the base of the spine, freeing tension. Start that lozenge shape now. Back, side, forward, side. And you may have to change the hands and adjust the knees. Widen the shoulders. Take them away from the ears. So there, I just got too big for a minute. Don't get too big. You're going back on yourself the other way. It's just that lozenge shape that's perceptible but barely. And then slowly, don't rush, starting to move more. Forward, side, back, side. And this is so good for the body. Open the mouth. Getting a little bigger, just a little bigger. Side, forward, back, side. Ooh. And there's a really big release going on in the pelvis. She, he, they, just being guided and releasing and relaxing at a deep level. Get a little bigger. Side, back, side, forward. Check the head and the neck. Ooh, check the mouth. The system might be feeling quieter now. That's to be encouraged. Getting a little bigger. Side, forward, side, back. So you can see what's happening here. Don't rush it. Don't rush the growth. And then keep that going. Getting a little bigger. So there's a deep stirring here in the pelvis, quite deep. The weight is dropping through the points of contact, the feet, the knees, the hands. Ooh. And there may even be some resistance going in the second direction. You would have chosen your more natural direction initially. Ooh. Getting bigger with the movement. So we're moving toward that cement mixer. There's a bit of a swoop, a whip, a whirl. Ooh. And then when you next come to somewhere where you can pause, tuck the toes under, hover the knees, and see about the cement mixer. So it's back, it's side, it's forward, it's side. And you're moving. It's quite normal to sweat in this a little bit. There's a lot being released. And then we're just going to keep that direction, but we're going to start to shrink the movement again. So the knees come down, smooth. Breathing as lightly as you can through the nose. It's still a fairly big movement. Side, back, side, forward. You know, maybe the palms are sweating. Keep that movement going. So if the palms are sweating, I would consider that to be a release as well. And then getting just a little bit smaller. Ugh. Tiny bit smaller. Whoa. If you're experiencing heat at the base of the spine, fantastic. If not, fantastic. Just getting a tiny bit smaller with that movement. Oh. Keep the shoulders wide, relax the mouth. You know, and you can lengthen this out. You can like string this out literally for as long as you like. The longer and the slower you go in terms of the changing size, the movement, the more benefit. So we're in the lozenge stage. Forward, side, back, forward. And then starting now to get smaller, moving toward that circle, horizontal plane. And it's really the cells. It's really down in the tail, in the seat of the pelvis. Think about the cells circling within themselves. And come right to what looks like stillness, but you're still circling. And then go into physical stillness. You may still be able to feel that, the movement tracing itself through the body. And bring one forearm down, the other forearm down, step the knees back a little. And drop your weight, gravitate downward. So let all the points of contact sink more. And open the mouth. And have the breath come in very lightly and the breath go out very lightly. It's likely there's a lot of energy at the base of the spine. This is wonderful. And then just let the hips swing out in one direction. And I'm just slightly exaggerating that to show it, but it's a swing outward. Come back to center and swing out, and you can do it slowly in the other direction. This should feel quite pleasant. Go to your outer reach. And a bit like a metronome, like a pendulum. They slip a little. Going one way, going the other way. So the outward swing creates the back movement. Ugh. And you'll be rolling a bit across the top of the knees if that's comfortable. Mouth is relaxed. I'm looking toward you, but the head's likely in line with the spine, looking down. And then come to center, and very slowly, because this is a big movement. So the front of the hips have been open for a while. Just begin now. Keep them open as long as you can. Begin to send the buttocks back toward the heels. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Buttocks come toward the heels. The arms reach forward. You can come up on the fingertips like spiders, and then just bring the forehead down. Creep those hands further forward. Have the hands like spiders, so there's a big stretch through the shoulder tissue. Roll the upper outer arms open, the brows on the ground if possible. And then take those arms back alongside the body. I'm just going to move the center of the mat to show this. One arm back, other arm back. And really now you've got your center here, which is at the base of the spine. Drop the weight like a stone. And if there's little areas of tension, which there might be, breathe into them. Breathe into those patches of tension. Light breathing in and out through the nose. Relax the hands. Relax the shoulders. And the breath has to go into the sides and the back of the body because the belly is closed. You breathe to where the breath has to go. And then when you're ready, you can stay there as long as you like, pushing yourself up. Come to cross-legged because it's a nice way to recenter. Close the eyes. Let the mouth relax. There may be tingling in the body. It's fine if there isn't. The tingling is prana because we have a whole storehouse of energy at the base of the spine, and we've literally moved it through the body. And if the eyes are closed, when you're ready, opening your eyes. Thank you for practicing cement mixer with me. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.